All right, so now that you've gathered all your pictures, it's time to get them out of whatever photo management software you're using and into Canva. Let's go. Okay, so getting your photos organized and into Canva can be a little bit tedious, but this setup part is very important if you want to save time later. It's going to help you stay organized. So what we're going to do here is we're going to export our pictures onto a folder on our desktop. We're going to categorize them, and then we're going to bring them into Canva. So in Mylio, what you do is, now that we have our album figured out, we can select all and use this share button to either export or to airdrop, however you're getting it to your desktop folder that you want to use. I always recommend exporting full-size pictures, so maximum quality. That way you can expand and contract them, and they'll still be very visible and they'll look really good when printed. You can do the same thing in Apple Photos just by selecting the photos you want and going to File, Export. So there you go. All right, so now that you've gotten all your pictures to a folder on your desktop, you want to navigate to that folder. And what I've done here is, as you can see, I've created a chronological um, folder structure of the different elements of the trip. I always use the prefix of a number, and of course, for single digits, you want to use the 0. That way, it'll stay in chronological order because typically alphabetical order is not the same. So what I've done here is I've taken that big folder of pictures and I've narrowed it down, and you can see each one of these folders has a set of pictures in it. So now you're going to pick your template that you're going to use. So of course, Canva, while you're using it, is it's got hundreds and hundreds of templates. So if you go to the main screen, what I like to do is search for a photo book in the dimensions that I'm going to be printing it in. So you want to think about this beforehand, whether you want a square uh, photo book or if you want a landscape or a portrait. This is dictated by the style of the album. In this case, it's a travel book with a lot of landscape photos. So I'm going to choose landscape. Another tip you want to do is not just photo book landscape, but search for the actual size you want. Um, and that way, it's not going to use the word landscape as a search term. It's going to just be using it as a dimension. So when you click that, now you're going to see there's over 700 templates just of photo books with this dimension. If you can't find what you're looking for, you can search all of photo books and kind of modify the one you want to fit the dimensions you're going to use. That can be a little cumbersome, changing the size and the dimensions. So hopefully you can find one in this collection based on the size you've searched. So what I've done is I'm going to choose this one, Bali Island, that I like. Just kind of set is kind of the aesthetic that I like. Keep in mind when you hover over these, some of these they're all going to have different amount of pages. Some of these are actually only one page. So like this one here is just like a cover page. So most likely you're going to want to pick one that has a bunch of not only the aesthetic you want, but a bunch of different styles. So as you hover it, the thumbnails will go through and you can see the different styles. And of course, you're going to be able to add, delete, move things around as you go. So this one has 22 different styles, pages to choose from. So I'm going to work with that one here. And you can see that I have it opened already. And you've got your template with 22 different pages. What I've done is, and now you don't have to be this organized. What you can, first of all, when you upload the any pictures into Canva, if you just drag from your desktop to Canva, it'll put them in this upload folder. And the downside of the upload folder is, every element or photo that you've ever dragged into Canva is going to be in this one big giant folder, and it can be hard to navigate. So what I like to do is go to projects and create a folder for the book you're using. And then once you do that, you can recreate the folders on your desktop, or you can just upload each folder one at a time. So I've taken the steps of recreating each folder from my desktop in Canva and then dragged all the pictures from that folder. And as you can see, it's just going to make it so much easier to find the specific part of the trip that I'm making the photo book out of. And even though I've already kind of created these folders, it's really easy to add pictures. You can either upload, using the three dots here. What I typically like to do is just drag. So what I did is I created the folder and then I dragged all the pictures from that folder on the desktop into the corresponding Canva folder just by going there. I'm not going to do it again, but you can see how it's going to it's going to upload all those pictures, and it'll usually take a minute or two just to to get all those pictures in there. Okay, so that's going to conclude the tedious but important step of organizing your pictures, exporting them out of the program you're using and into a folder structure that you can easily navigate in Canva. And you've also picked a template. So in step 3, we're going to actually be putting the pictures into the template and having a lot of fun. This is the fun part. You've done all the hard work, and now you get to go into Canva and play around. So stay tuned for part 3 coming up next.